As was discussed in the other video, task response is a very important part of your rating for task 2. This video will focus on argument essays, so one-sided and two-sided argument essays. We'll compare some common mistakes with high-level samples. Remember, we're focusing on task response, not the other criteria like coherence and cohesion or grammar or language. Quick recap. How is task response marked? Let's do this very quickly. The length of the answer, don't copy from the rubric. The rubric means the question. Those words are not counted in your word count. 250 words, remember. It's very important that all parts of the prompt are discussed. This is true for cause and effect essays or cause and solution as well, but maybe even more important in argument essays. It's important that your argument is relevant and on topic. The main ideas, as we've explained before, must be supported, they must be extended and explained. The concept of PEE, which we've discussed as well. We need to be wary of overgeneralized arguments as well. If you want to get a 7 or an 8 especially, we cannot be too general. We need a clear position throughout the response. Now, this is very awkward in a two-sided essay sometimes, so we need to discuss and think about how you're going to do that. Now let's have a look at a one-sided argument. We'll start with the easier one, which is the one-sided. This is a poor sample as well, so we're going to be looking for mistakes. Of course, the first thing, just so we're clear, what is the question? So spend some time reading the question. So it's obviously about television. Remember, one good way to make sure you're on topic and your argument's relative is to simplify the question. So this question is about that TV is no good and people should do active things instead. So let's look at this essay from a student. We know it's a poor sample, so we're looking for task response mistakes. There is the introduction. There is the first body paragraph. Just straight away, pause here right now and consider what might be some mistakes. As the rest of the essay now comes up, look on the second part here, look on the other two body paragraphs in the summary. Any task response mistakes you think the candidate may have made? Now let's come and highlight some of those mistakes right now. So for a start, there was no opinion. Remember at the start of today, we've just mentioned that you need a clear opinion. This must be mentioned in the thesis statement at the start. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? The first body paragraph, immediately we've got a contradiction here. Can you see this? So this is a good example of not a clear position throughout. So the person actually says a good point about TV, and then they say that it's hazardous to health. So that's a problem there. The next body paragraph is actually quite good. You see a good explanation there. It's very short, but it's actually okay and well explained there. However, the third one, this is an off-topic paragraph. If you come back to the question, it says it's comparing TV to healthy active pursuits. There is no mention or no discussion of other kinds of passive activities. This person has gone off topic. So this may be a problem in step 2 when they're thinking of their ideas. They should have been looking very carefully at the question and they would not have made that kind of mistake. The problem with the conclusion, still no opinion. So this is very typical of students writing sometimes, where their opinion is not clear. This is definitely an opinion essay. You must give your opinion. It must be clear throughout the response. Now, let's compare that to a high-level response coming up here. So look at the introduction, the first two body paragraphs for a high-level one. Pause and take as long as you like. And then the two final paragraphs as well. So pause, look for the good things in this. Why would this be getting a good mark for task response? Let's now analyze that a bit more closely. So in the introduction, there's a nice clear opinion this time. Notice the difference between this introduction and the last one. Maybe go back and check that. I completely disagree. Nice strong language. Nice clear explanation in here. Good explanation and results. Point 2, nice and clear again as well. So notice that they're talking about the results of this activity as well. And then finally, the person's mentioning about the world and what they can learn. So these are three quite different points. So they've decided to give 3 separate paragraphs, which is good. And a nice clear summary here where they're restating the opinion again and coming back to the main points they make within the essay. So this is a far higher level sample, especially in terms of task response. Now let's move on to a two-sided one. So for a start, we've got to look very carefully up here at the question again. Now, two-sided argument essays always have a complicated topic. So see the topic there with 2 sentences. And this topic is difficult. So these are typically the most tricky kinds of questions. So we're talking about people and using animals. Some people say it's not okay, and other people say it is okay. So now what kinds of mistakes do you see the person making in their answer here? Let's now look at those in detail. So first of all, there's no thesis statement. Again, as with the last problem essay, there is no clear opinion in here. We must have an opinion in this question. It clearly asks for your opinion. Don't wait to the end of the essay. A lot of candidates do that. Write your opinion right at the start. This first body paragraph is slightly off topic. Especially this last bit is not quite so clear. The example there. When we move into the next paragraph, the problem with this topic in it is it's directly copied. Can you see that? That this language is copied. So try and paraphrase at all times. This next one, this is a poor explanation. Just because something has been true for thousands of years, that does not make it a good reason. You need to explain in much more detail why that opinion is accurate. And then they're just using examples from the body rather than the main idea. So we should be doing that. Again, it's very repetitive. Some of the ideas should be in the body. It's not really a good conclusion. So let's now have a look at this good response. So pause here and think about why this essay is far superior to the last one in terms of task response. So now when we analyze it, we see in the introduction immediately the writer is talking about the 2 points of view, but also explaining that this person thinks it's not acceptable to use animals for food and research, and we know that immediately. It relates to the question. It's a very good thesis statement, this. Now, this is the first body paragraph. So the writer has decided, first of all, to talk about the other opinion, not the writer's opinion. So they are very clearly explaining to the reader that this is not their opinion. And then they're using other language which clarifies that. Some people, not the writer, some other people believe blah, blah, blah. Firstly, they think, now that's good referencing. It's going back to the some people, not the writer. Nice and clear there. People who believe this, again, lots of language here that's showing the reader this is not the person's opinion. And then the contrast, very strong. However, I do not believe these arguments stand up to scrutiny. Very strong opinion, good, and then nice language leading into the points and the explanation. In this second body paragraph, we see that therefore, again, having to kill animals for food is not an adequate argument. So this is a nice concluding sentence there. So, and a nice strong opinion as well in the end, again reinforcing the opinion. And so this is a very good two-sided argument essay. So let's review those things. So we have a one-sided argument. First of all, coming up, we looked at the first essay. There was no direct answer to the question. There was no clear position throughout the essay. Some of the information contradicted. So that's indicative of a weak position. The third body paragraph was clearly off topic and a weak summary. The good one, the second essay, we saw immediately there was an opinion. The good things were mentioned about TV. The bad things about sport as well. So choosing to talk about to make the opinion clear, we choose the good things about what we think and we focus on the bad things about the other idea. It is not a balanced argument. It's not meant to be. What do you agree or disagree? So you're not asked to write a balanced argument. Good examples and explanation. And a nice succinct means concise and precise. Succinct is a similar word. It means short and to the point. The two-sided essay, the first one, no thesis statement. Copied language from the question throughout it, actually. Poor explanation, especially in that third body paragraph. The conclusion was repetitive, no real ideas. And they also included examples in the conclusion. Examples should be in the body, not the conclusion. The second essay, much clearer, nice clear thesis statement, outlining 2 points that are going to be discussed and the writer's opinion. Body paragraph 1 was nice and clear. It was clear that it was not the writer's opinion too. Body paragraph 2 was clear that this is now the writer's opinion, and there was nice strong opinion language as well, and a good conclusion which answered the question. So I hope you found that helpful. Please go back in your own time and look and compare those good and bad points in those 4 essays you've had a chance to look at here. Thank you for watching.